assuming, so we know how that goes. I may be way off, but I feel like it had something to do with this conversation with Bobby Simmons, because Bobby has started communicating with him again instead of going through me. So that line of communication's opened back up, and I don't know.
We'll see for how long.
Yeah.
We will see. I promise you, if Bobby told Seth anything of what he's told us, Seth opens his fucking mouth, I promise you, it won't ever open again.
That was CP talking. If Bobby told Seth anything that he's told us, and he opens his mouth, I promise you, it will never open again. Bobby is the first name of the TBI special agent, lead on the case for Sebastian Rogers. First name basis with the stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, who we call CP. If Bobby told Seth anything, he's told us, and he opens his mouth, I promise you, it will never open again. What does Bobby Simmons know? What did Bobby tell CP and KP that wasn't being told to the biological father? Why the stepfather? Who you know? What's going on? Why the threat? Why would information on a missing child cause such a threat? Some knowledge that if the dad knew it and repeated it, he would never open his mouth again. Why the lack of transparency from a TBI special agent to tell things to one parent, the mother, not the father, and include the stepfather over the father when the stepfather doesn't need to be included, in my opinion? Why not investigate that stepfather for the CPS visits to the home rather than telling him secrets? Who is Bobby Simmons, you ask? Well, if you look on the Amber Alert flyer, it says right here, Special Agent Bobby Simmons. He is the lead in the Sebastian Rogers case. He is the person that Chris Proudfoot, Sebastian Rogers' stepfather, is referring to as Bobby.
We know how that goes. I may be way off, but I feel because Bobby has started communicating with him again instead of going through me. So that line of communication's opened back up, and I don't know.
We'll see for how long.
Yeah.
We will see. I promise you, if Bobby told Seth anything of what he's told us, Seth opens his fucking mouth, I promise you, it won't ever open again.
What did TBI Special Agent Bobby Simmons tell CP and KP that he hadn't told Seth, and that if Seth does get told it and repeats it, he will never open his mouth again, according to CP? Could this be the TBI agent who in the first days said where he is not coming back from? What does he know? That shows knowledge of what happened. Where he is, he's not coming back from. Knowledge in the first days. Does that show knowledge of where Sebastian is? Possibly. Where he is not coming back from. What does this TBI agent know who said that in the first days? We will see for how long. CP didn't seem to like it that Special Agent Bobby Simmons was speaking to Seth again. We will see for how long. Why would a stepfather not want the TBI special agent speaking to the father of a missing child? Why is CP trying to block information going to Sebastian's father? Why does CP, the stepfather, control who Bobby Simmons, special agent TBI, speaks to in the case? By saying, not for long, it indicates that, doesn't it? Certainly, video footage wouldn't be shown to some and not to all, because that would be bias. That would be playing favorites. Listen to this. Did Seth see the same video footage and all the video footage like KP and CP?
Sebastian was having a great day, was in a great mood. He got to go to BJ's. He had a colossal popcorn. He hung out with family. He went and played video games at Strike and Spare. After that, he went and had dinner at Roadhouse, Texas Roadhouse. He ate his whole meal. I mean, everything in the video, even the videos that Seth has seen, he doesn't show any negative signs of he's upset or anything like that. As far as we all know, Sebastian had a great day.
As far as we all know, Sebastian had a great day. But what's important in that speech by CP is he says, even the video Seth has seen. What do you mean, even the video Seth has seen? He's talking about, we watched, CP saying, even in all the video footage, it's the Spare, and he went to BJ's, and he did this, and he went to dinner, and in all that footage, he looks like he's having a good day, he's in a good mood, and even the video Seth has seen, he looks happy. Why wouldn't Seth have seen it all? Why would some be kept from Seth? Why isn't there transparency to all parents? And when I say parents, the biological mother and the biological father. The stepfather, my gosh, why is he being held and prioritized over the biological father? Why does he control who TBI speaks to? Bias. It seems like there's bias against Seth Rogers, the biological father, the real father, the only father, making Seth feel like he is the focus by saying things. And this was an officer saying, I'm not so sure I'm past the point, and I'm paraphrasing, that you didn't do this and hire someone. Not communicating with the father. Threats, if the father knows something and opens his mouth, he'll never open his mouth again. What is going on? What is so serious underneath the layers that someone would never be able to open their mouth again? Is that a threat to unalive someone? Is that a threat to unalive Seth? If he talks about what happened to his son, what he hears? It's looking serious again. All the layers in Sumner County that don't make sense. The relationships, just like Grant Solomon, his father, a newscaster in Nashville, murmurs of H-teen in his background, child P in his background, claimed he was the one there when his child died, claiming he got run over by his own vehicle, dragged by his own vehicle across the pavement into a ditch. Not a scratch on his clothing, not a scratch on his shoes, and no investigation. The mother screamed and begged. The daughter did. There were allegations of CPS. Apparently, CPS is required to do investigations if the child is on their dockets. Sebastian was. Did CPS do that investigation? If not, why? Who allowed them not to? Why is their knowledge not being shared with everyone? including Sebastian's father, the very only individual in the family looking for him, allegedly. What's with the incompetence? Is it incompetence or don't they care? Is that why the flyer was wrong for almost a year? Is that why there's no communication for an Amber Alert child that is required? Is that why there is silence when there are ransom demands and threats to Sebastian's life? Why would someone say to Seth, I'm still working on you hired someone to do this, when clearly it's documented where Seth was? Why isn't that being said to someone whose alibi was there alone with the child, behind locked doors, still locked in the morning, who has a inconsistent narrative? According to lead detective Brandon Carter, although they were all aware Sebastian was last seen on February 25th, not February 26, 2024, the flyers were all wrong and they just didn't change the air. This statement came immediately after the leak of the video, the images moving in the backyard that was going to come out on Nancy Grace. Why would that statement come out? Why, in my opinion, it was to let people think there was an error, to let people think there was an error in order to debunk the movement in the backyard. That wasn't supposed to get out. The flashlights weren't supposed to get out. That's why those were called the trash truck. Green Hoodie wasn't supposed to get out. That's why Green Hoodie was found, interviewed, and cleared in hours after 10 months of nothing. Why is there not transparency? Why does the stepfather refer to the lead special agent of TBI, first name basis, Bobby? Why does he refer to the lead detective from Sumner County, first name, Brandon, or often calls him Carter? Why would you pretend there was an error on a flyer all along in order to debunk? That video in the background came out right after. Or were they so incompetent and careless that that was an error that they chose not to correct? The last date a child was seen, which is crucial for anyone searching or looking. Or was that the point? Why is TBI's public information officer not giving updates on their Amber Alert child, Sebastian Rogers, or Summer Wells for that matter? Why did the TBI newsroom not have an update until their update was August 26, 2024, but just recently updated it, the date, to February 25th, 2025, adding one sentence to that update. The rest is the same. February 26 marks 1 year. Since then, 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers was reported missing from his Sumner County home. Why no updates? Why not tell people what they're looking for? Why not ask the public for help? They don't have to. Why? But they should be telling their locals that they're safe or not safe. Especially with the theme of human teeing going on in the community. Millersville police bringing it up. Sean Taylor said Sean Taylor of Millersville police said TBI raided his home and the police station as a favor was called in. They confiscated all of the files that they had been gathering, all the information leading to corruption in Sumner County, money laundering from out of the country into the country, child trafficking, drug trafficking, mortgage fraud, all were destroyed. Why? Why did they want those destroyed? Another theme of human teeing coming into play. Why are the cases not being investigated like Sebastian Rogers and Grant Solomon? Why is human teeing keep coming up in this? Sean Taylor says this human teeing, this county corruption, this money laundering, this rug trafficking, this mortgaging fraud, he says it ties in to Sebastian's case. along with the sighting in Millersville. We watched this video, the video about corruption at Tennessee local level. And he says, Sean Taylor, if you follow the Sebastian Rogers case, a missing autistic teen out of Sumner County, and a possible sighting in Millersville, this ties into this. They have not escalated the case to the FBI for foul play. What this ties into is human trafficking, child trafficking. Sean Taylor, along with a veteran group trying to save children from child trafficking. The file's gone. They say this ties in to Sebastian's case. Is that why it's not investigated? Did it also tie into Grant Solomon's case? Murmurs of his father allegedly involved in that. Is that why Grant's case was uninvestigated to the point where it got escalated? The mother was so upset that she tried to take matters into her own hand. Many of you have said, I hope this doesn't keep going until someone gets hurt, someone else. Is that what they're waiting for? I don't know, but it happened in Grant Solomon's almost. Why is TBI silent during ransom demands for Sebastian Rogers? Why can CP say, we will have a little powwow and I'll have Bobby and Carter here? Why does he know them so well? Why does he know them and communicate with them more than the father of Sebastian Rogers? Did he have a prior relationship with them? What did Bobby tell them? That Seth better not open his mouth about? What was it? Sounds dangerous. Sounds like knowledge. Sounds like information being hidden. Sounds like bias. All alleged. Was there video footage that Seth didn't get to see? Was there video footage that Seth didn't get to see? Let's listen to CP.
And even on video, Sebastian was having a great day, was in a great mood. He got to go to BJ's, he had a colossal popcorn, he hung out with family, he went and played video games at Strike and Spare. After that, he went and had dinner at Roadhouse, Texas Roadhouse. He ate his whole meal.
Does CP know all of that because he saw it on video? And then he later adds even the video Seth saw? Or does CP know that because allegedly he may have been in town? I don't know. Was there video footage that they did not show the father? Did he get bits and pieces? We know he only got the part of Sebastian leaving the Texas Roadhouse. Nothing else of what was going on. Hit that thumbs up, please. For more, I will be live this evening at 8:30 to continue with this, but we're going to end with this very important audio.
We know that how that goes. I may be way off, but I feel like it had something to do with this conversation with Bobby Simmons because Bobby has started communicating with him again instead of going through me. So that line of communication's opened back up, and I don't know.
We'll see for how long.
Yeah.
We will see. I promise you, if Bobby told Seth anything of what he's told us, Seth opens his fucking mouth. I promise you, it won't ever open again.
Why wasn't that threat followed through by law enforcement? Why is that allowed? Why are certain individuals allowed to break the law and threaten? Why would there be information that CP didn't want Seth to know? Why, if it was repeated, would someone have to be unalived and never open their mouth again? Is it as simple as what CP has been telling us from all along, from the very beginning? Law enforcement knows everything. Is that the one thing that's come out of his mouth allegedly that we should believe? Is that why there seems to be bias? Hidden secrets? What's so underground? What's so hidden? What's so deep that there isn't even transparency to a father or Grant Solomon's mother, or there is an investigation? The family begs for it and is ignored. Sean Taylor investigating child trafficking, money laundering through fraudulent mortgages, and many others, and all the files go away. And he says it ties to Sebastian, along with that sighting in Millersville. Does Ellie know everything? What does Bobby Simmons know? Was he the agent who said where Sebastian is, he's not coming back from? That's a lot of knowledge. Hidden secrets. Why would there be hidden secrets when a child is missing? Well, let's ask Sumner County Sheriff's Office and TBI. Talk soon, my friends.